Kevin Harvick has been outspoken about safety concerns with the next-gen car since 2021, a year before it debuted. Last season, the 2014 Cup Series champion openly criticized the car's flaws multiple times and called out NASCAR for not addressing the issues in a more timely manner. NASCAR tackled those concerns and made adjustments to the rear of the car in the off-season. Things have largely been quiet on the safety front for most of the year. Then Sunday at Talladega happened. As fate would have it, one of Harvick's teammates was involved in a violent crash, and the driver, who is in his final season, once again sounded the alarm bells while making an unsettling revelation. This video is sponsored by Factor. Guys, time is precious. We're all busy, and sometimes finding time to prepare a quality meal gets lost in the shuffle. How would regularly receiving fresh, easy-to-make meals delivered right to your door make your life easier? Factor has done just that for me. With Factor, there is no mess and no preparation. You set up your meal plan on the website, and the pre-prepared, never-frozen meals are delivered to your door weekly. Once they arrive, they're easy to make, taking just a few minutes to prepare a delicious meal. But convenience isn't the only great thing. In a wellness market full of unrealistic diet plans, Factor is a new approach to prepared food, and the meals come in perfect-sized portions and allow me to stick to my dietary goals. My personal favorite is the Italian herb chicken. I also love their strawberry banana smoothie. Now it's time for you to find your Factor favorite. Click on the link and enter code FACTOR-SE35177. You will be glad you did. The history books will show that Kevin Harvick showed his veteran leadership in his final years as a driver, starting in July 2021 when he called out NASCAR for its lack of transparency surrounding the safety of the new next-gen car. Those concerns were only born after rumors started swirling around potential safety issues. Multiple sources reported that the car had performed poorly in crash tests, with test dummies suffering what would be considered fatal injuries.
Yeah, the only thing, I think, as we sat in the drivers' meeting that NASCAR had with us to show us everything, I think that the most frustrating part of the whole process is the fact that the safety piece to the drivers and the conversation with the drivers, which was asked for by the drivers, was had at the very end of everything. And, I think as you look at that, I think it's just... I think the guys driving the cars are owed at least the respect enough to at least be a part of the process of what's going on. But I think it's that and the racetrack, and I think everybody's a little bit frustrated with just how all that's been handled.
Fast forward to 2022 and the first year of the car. Harvick didn't relent. In August, after Kurt Busch had been sidelined for an extended period due to a concussion suffered in a crash, the SHR driver talked at Michigan about his concerns with the car and NASCAR's handling of it.
I don't think you're making enough noise. It's never the first line item on the to-do list. So, I can tell you from a driver, every time I hit something, it's a lot harsher than any hit that I took in any of the other cars. The only thing I can compare it to is hitting a concrete wall compared to what it used to be. So, I think that's the issue. It's not you look at the cars and they're like, oh man, they look great. That's the problem. Nothing flew off of it, right? That's the problem, and all that energy is absorbed through you. So it feels like you get hit by the hammer and the car survives, but is that really what you want? Like you know what I mean? So. I think, the cars are all together, and that looks great, but it doesn't feel great. Did you get it?
To NASCAR's credit, it addressed those rear impacts in the off-season. There haven't been any complaints this year regarding those types of crashes. In fact, J.J. Yeley backed into the wall at Richmond with an assist from Denny Hamlin, and the modified design was put to the test, and it apparently passed. But those are the rear impacts. On Sunday at Talladega, there was a violent crash between Ryan Preece and Kyle Larson at a high rate of speed on the 2.66-mile super speedway. There was no rear portion of the car involved in the accident. Preece T-boned the number 5 car in the passenger side door. The video from Priest's in-car camera is painful to watch because it shows the driver's head abruptly surging forward and appearing close to hitting the steering wheel, and his hands fly off simultaneously. His visor also flung open. This week, Priest visited with reporters and was peppered with multiple questions about the accident, including how the impact felt, which he rated P1 on his all-time list, and how he's felt since Sunday. He said he's feeling really good and the car did its job. However, he also made an interesting comment about a conversation he had with Kevin Harvick and what he had to say about the accident.
Kevin called me yesterday and we were kind of talking about one of the things he said is, man, you moved a lot. And I said, yeah, I guess I got a lot of mass that those seatbelts have to hold in. But no, I mean, Kevin made a great point yesterday because I was I kind of had the opinion that everything did its job. I feel great. So why change anything? But he brought up the point of you can always make it better. You can look at this as, okay, well, how do you feel here? What can you do different with your belts or your Huns or whether, so something I do as a driver is I don't clip my shield all the way down. So if there was an event, you probably want to do that. What's stopping you from doing that? So Kevin's really good at helping you raise questions to yourself and to continue pushing, whether that's safety, performance, or whatever. So.
It's interesting to hear from another driver how Harvick is always of the mindset of pushing to make things better. On that same day that he spoke with Priest, the future first ballot Hall of Famer appeared on NASCAR Race Hub, where he addressed the crash and made what seemed to be a startling revelation.
What is your reaction as a driver when you see something like this, Kevin?
Well, these cars crash differently than anything we've ever raced, and the violence of the impact is much different than it used to be. And in this camera, you can see how violent it is, and that tells you how hard this impact was because of the fact that you can actually see it. Usually it happens, the wrecks happen so fast, and your head whips forward so fast. Usually the steering wheel is what stops your head and your knees, because the forward motion and the rearward motion happen so fast that you can't control your body. You see Ryan's hands fly off the wheel right there. His shield was open, which he does that naturally, trying to get some air in there. But it's a very, very, very violent accident.
He said the word very 3 times. That's pretty telling that he felt the need to emphasize 2 already powerful words like violent accident. What was even more disturbing in Happy's statement was the frightening image he painted of drivers' heads hitting steering wheels on a consistent basis. Priest was asked about that during his media session, but said it happened so fast that he didn't know if he hit the steering wheel or not. The video evidence would suggest he did or came extremely close, and based on what Harvick is suggesting, this is not an anomaly, and that's very concerning and shows that NASCAR still has a lot of work to do.